Hey everybody, Steve Olivas back in Nashville, Tennessee at Premier Global Productions. I almost said studios because that's what we're in right now. Huge sound studio for the recording of Rizz and the Believerz. Latest single, I don't want to screw this title up, Don't Stop Tryin. And we've got percussionist Troy Luccketta. Wait, are you senior or junior?
I would be junior.
Okay.
Even though I'm taller, I'm still junior.
Now, which of you is the better looking Troy Luccketta?
Well, I'll leave that for the fans to decide.
I think they know, just between you and me. Troy Luccketta Jr., a big part of the production, bringing some of the groovy into a very funky kind of song.
Yep.
And before we even get into that, Troy, just tell people a little bit about you and your pedigree and what you've done in the music industry to get here.
Okay, myself, basically been playing in a lot of bands in the Bay Area. I've gone on to play for groups, open for Puddle Mud, Papa Roach, even my father's band, Tesla. Been very blessed to do that. Just always been around the circuit, always been playing for a long time. Then I had my son London and decided where, I started to miss those first things. The first, the Halloween wasn't there for, this I wasn't there for. I was just like, all right, you know what, maybe I want to try something else. So I started producing. And that's actually how I found Rizz out of Reno. I was up there, had a place in Gardnerville, and kept hearing about this kid and went and checked him out, and we ended up working together. So I kind of just tied it all in. He came to my house in Dublin, which I had like a home studio set up, and that's where we cut this song that started with you're about to hear, Don't Stop Tryin, out of my studio garage.
And you are the one, just so that we're clear and double down on this, you're the one that discovered Rizz.
It takes a village, but yeah.
All right, well, as long as you're being humble about
I found it.
Has since we've had the influence of all these old rockers, I don't mean old, I guess I do mean old in the chronological.
Papa Luccketta says dinosaurs. I'm like, you're going a little too hard there, Dad. It's about, come on, over 65 million years. Ain't that old yet.
They've been around the block a couple of times.
Correct.
Has the song changed at all in its flavor since it left your studio, Troy?
To be honest with you, what is so cool about this one, there's been, new pedigree on it, new, taste and stuff like that. But as far as the arrangement, what we came up with, the concept of it, the lyrical content has pretty much stayed true to form.
Are you satisfied with the final product? Because I think it's great.
To be honest with you, I am very happy, and it's way better than when I discovered it. And hence, going back to the village, it does, because everyone gets to put in their kind of thing. And it's worked out good. I didn't really know what to expect. And then coming back into Nashville and kind of hear even with people like Jack Capitelli, engineer, and John Holloway, who's been great for Rizz, just putting in that 2 cents, man, it's really come to life, made a thing of its own.
Well, you came a long way to be here today, so that really speaks to your commitment to this project and seeing it through.
Oh yeah.
And just seeing Rizz and his career through.
Yeah, and it's cool. Like, he never gave up. He just kept it going. And
he doesn't strike me as the kind that would.
Man, I think we did this in 2020.
Are you serious? Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah. And it's kind of cool. Don't mean to get emotional here and kind of go steer a different avenue. But the truth is, I went through some things, had some brain tumors cut out of my head, and Rizz was there during his session. So December 2020, he was the one that picked me out of the car after my first tumor was cut outside of my head. And me and him really got close with that whole aspect of just that camaraderie and going through real life stuff. And we just kept talking, and like anything, life has to happen. You have to adult, you have to take care of people. And, I have a son, so, it's kind of steered me away from music, but the truth is he never gave up. And here we are, full circle again, 3 years later, doing this.
Did you expect this kind of thing to happen, Troy?
No. That's God's plan, brother. Not at all.
But just with the big names that were brought into this project, this has to feel like your kid just graduated college, kind of, right?
Yeah. I'm just proud that he just kept it going,
Very good. And you couldn't ask for a nicer guy with Rizz.
Beautiful soul, man. Beautiful soul. We clicked. Soon as we met, we clicked.
And you are, I think, you are a drummer by trade.
I
right?
am.
I was curious watching you shooting the video, how did you and your father kind of divide up which part was who, and how do two drummers contribute to a song and be congruent with each
So
other.
I didn't know if I would have to, if I could even make it here, to be honest with you. That's my son right there, London, by the way.
Oh, I've seen London hanging around.
That's London right there. So, like I said, that thing, adulting, full circle, right? I didn't know if I could make it. So as we're working on the record, and we have the stuff that we did in Dublin, California, my home studio, and then he's done so much great material out here in Nashville and stuff like that. So as we're working on like what's going to be the first single, bouncing ideas off each other and stuff like that, it kind of was just, we all knew that this was the one. This was the single. So I just told him, I was like, Pops, what do you want from me? So he did the drum track, and he sent me about 6 days ago. He goes, dude, just play a little percussion. This is what I need out of you. I was like, whatever you need, I got your back. And then that's kind of, full force why I'm doing on this song. But when we tour, he talks about, maybe we all switch, swap, so we'll all figure that out. Just makes it fun.
Well, your parts are very different. Like Casey and the Sunshine Band had several percussionists, and they all kind of did a different thing. But when it comes together, it's like a good stew, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you got going on.
Yeah, and I think that's why it works too,
Because you both have your own personality that is being injected into that music.
Yeah, and definitely different flavors. I come from a different background that he comes from, but yet we all get together and combined. That conglomerate happens.
Yeah, well, you were influenced by your father, and Troy
100%.
wasn't, so yeah.
Yep.
The other Troy. No, that's cool, and I'm glad that you're going to stay a part of the project because you are kind of the OG of this whole thing coming together, Troy.
True. Yeah, I ain't going anywhere. Rizz is my boy, so whatever he needs from me, and if he wants to get me out of I'm good with that too. Whatever he needs. No egos here.
Were you involved in his clothing choice for the video shoot?
He actually told me that I have to wear this today. So if anyone is in charge of clothing, it's Rizz. So he's running the show when it comes to that.
I notice your shoes don't look much like his shoes.
Timberlands, baby.
Well, are you still running Made of Stars? I think that's your studio, right?
Yeah.
Is that still on the horizon for you?
And I think Nico, who's off screen right there, that's my bass player. He flew out with me to be a part of this too and help out whatever, Rizz and the crew needed. But we have a full encampment, Made of Stars, out of the Bay, DJ, guitar players, bass players, and we produce artists. We're working with like three other artists right now as we speak. So we just keep it going. As far as getting out there and touring and playing, we'll see how that goes. But we're just writing and producing and just keeping it going.
And I think Rizz has another single coming out at some point. Is there a video in the future for that one?
Depending on what we pick, which I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't want to say it just in case it's not. But yes, it'll be full production, man. Look, we set the bar.
Oh my God! I tell
Rizzland,
you what,
we set the bar. So now
whose
it's only got
vision
to
was
get
that,
better.
Troy? Were you a
That was
part
Rizz.
of this?
Nope, that was Rizz. That's exactly how he wanted it to be, and yeah.
Rizz is a colorful guy.
Very colorful.
I haven't seen that many colors on a set ever.
Doesn't it look like something out of Disneyland though? That's why I
It's
call
a small
it
world,
Rizzland.
yeah.
Yeah, straight up, all the colors that pop. But I love it. That's cool.
Yeah, you guys look like you were really getting into the song. And when you shoot a music video, you play the song over and over. And it didn't look like you guys were faking it take 1 versus take 30. Like you were still right up there on the beat. That's a fun song.
Yeah, it is. It is a fun song. Fun parts too. Like when you love what you're playing, I think that's kind of also, to go back to what you're saying, then you're invested in it in that way. So it comes off real, So you're not just faking the funk, so to speak.
That's a new expression on me, Troy. Well, I've just got you for another minute, but what do you want for Rizz and the Believerz? Like, what is your vision? Because you are the OG with Rizz.
Yeah.
And what do you two kind of map out? Where would you like it to go?
So the whole thing why he was out here in this past year now, as of May, I just told him, like, dude, don't lose your identity. Don't lose the sound you were, obviously never who you were, but the whole sound thing, because you start working with all these musicians.
Absolutely.
And it's great. Take all the good in, take all that music element in, obviously. Have no ego about anything. Hear what they have to say, because you always have what you have at the end of the day. But the truth is, I just always wanted him to be him. And I think that's why we came full circle to have this to be the single.
Perfect. And you're on a dude first name basis with Rizz.
Yeah.
You just call him dude. You lay it out. You haven't even called me dude, Troy. So
I'll work on that. From now on, you're the dude.
Thank you so much, Troy Luccketta Jr., for coming in, percussionist in Rizz and the Believerz. Thanks, Troy.